Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Good evening, everyone. This joyful evening, we are going to think about the food for thought subject. Be present. Be present means we are going to take the stock of today's attendance and think about them. Not really. It's almost like 16 people. Members are there. It's good enough. We just get into the subject. Be present. Um, it is not the one which we are going to discuss about the physical presence of the members. It is the mental state of everyone in the Vedatrium and around us, all other the community and the social members. The mind always thinks in three segments. One is the past, always, all the time, and present, and in the future, which lies all the time in these three states. We will just think about what is this present state of mind. First, the basics, we'll just get into it because we get into a lot of logical and theoretical informations we take from Vedatrium. And how depth we just dive into that the logics and grab that information into the fullest. That is what here the subject is going to be. Once we jump down to till the end of the ocean, then only we can just pick up the pearls. If we are just floating around and on the top, what we can get, we just lose our energies. That's all. Maximum we will do it. Only the best divers can get the proper pearl out of it. The same way, similarly, if we get into the subject or even in the meditative state, if we dive deep into it, then only we can attain the divine status. Therefore, the present status of mind is very important. Most of the time, mankind normally have the past. They are always in the past. Why that we always in the past? Because from one-celled amoeba till the 7.5 trillion celled human being, it is all by the evolution process. It happened from God's particle till the human. If we take it instead of it is evolution, for example, for a reference, we just say there is a creator who creates everything which we are seeing. That means he created from amoeba till the human being. It took millions of years to reach this position. The human mankind is evolved with the beautiful piece of the brain, the mind. That is what we are special from other creations. Enormous amount of the mind, and we can just do whatever we want on this planet. That is what we are seeing. At the moment, we all enjoy the brain power of the human mankind to the fullest and enjoy the luxury of life on this planet. When Maharishi says what the purpose of life is just come on this planet, enjoy the nature, whatever is given, and just attain the divinity, mukti, moksha, whatever, every religion, race, creed, whatever they say. We can just go ahead with that. With all these luxuries around us on this, the latest generation, or we are all in a happy mode? Are we enjoying our life the fullest? That is, I'm leaving it to you all. We can just take a decision on it. It is all depending on the individuals. Because of the long evolution process, we come out with the huge stock of the memory called the Sanjita Karma. It is sitting in our genetic center. We are not going to touch genetic center or the divine or other parts. We just get into the basics. The Sanjita Karma, it's a big load of information which is there in our the Karmayam, the genetic center. And the prarabdha karma, whatever happened from our 3 years old of age till today. And apart from that, another load of informations is the Facebook, WhatsApp karma, Facebook karma, mobile karma, and you name it. You know, a lot of attractions around us. Now we can just name it like a 5 inch, 6.6 inch, then 14.2 inch, 15.6 inch, 21 inch, 55 inch, until 100 inch. Lot of segments available, a lot of screens everywhere. Yeah, there are 7.5 billion people around the world, and we may have around 15 billion monitors around us. We are all full day, like full day. We are concentrating in front of the monitors. What is happening? Is our mindset is happening very well with the past, present, and future thoughts? That I leave it to you all, because in the social informations we get a lot of negativity. Lot of negativity means a lot of negativity. That may be Facebook or WhatsApp or YouTube, Twitter. Even the Twitter all the time comes and gives you the notification tweets, and we just even in the middle of the meditation, some of the members, they just pick up and see what is the tweet. That kind of distractions happening in our mind. Therefore, most of the time, our thought process runs behind the negative side. Most of the time on the negative side, because we hear, we listen, or we practice, or we get into a lot of negativity around us. This negativity makes the world into negativity. Now, due to this pandemic situation, we are all at home most of the time, working in front of the monitors every day, around 20 hours a day we work. But what is our mental and physical well-being? How is our physical being is happening? We are the emotions. Whatever emotion comes, our mind always takes a diversion. That is the one thing really which pulls us from the nature. When we are all just when we are all a child, like 5 years old, we don't have a lot of stock in our mind. Therefore we are all happy, joyful, and not blissed out, I can say, but we are all in joyful state. That's the reason, children up to until 10 years old, what they do is they always ask for the questions. What is that, what is this, what is that? Always a lot of questions from the children. Once that is fulfilled, they record and register in their mind for the future use. It's all. If we pass on the good ones, the child grows as a good child. If they get all the negative imprints, then they work in a negative side. Luckily, we are all at the age of, whatever age maybe, we are all adult, and we reach to the Vedatrium, and we start practicing Vedatrium at least at the later age, not from the childhood, but the later age. Um, Nothing is bad if we are starting at least today. Also, it is very good. Um, but given a chance, the child gets it at the age of 10-year-old, 10 or 15-year-old into the Vedatrium. Then his mind is shaped well, and he don't need to. He can, like, by doing meditation and all the sky owned process. When they do it, they just knock off all their sanjita karma and prarabdha karma. Also, they can just get it deviated from that, and akamiya karma may not happen also. They can all have a very good life. In a spiritual process, it's a straight line. The globe is very round, and if we make a straight line, and we walk towards the divinity as per the purpose of life, attain the divinity. That is what the Maharishi says. If the straight line is towards the divinity is there, but what we do is, because of emotional process, every emotion normally gives a deviation to the mind. Due to that, not what we do is, normally we take a deviation in our path, whatever path it is, spiritual path. If we all in a spiritual path, even though Vedatrians, we also take a lot of deviation from our day-to-day activity and the decisions, and we end up with negativity. And when we take the deviation from our path, what happens if there is a comfortable zone there? Then we just stay there and we wait until we get the next bad feeling. Then we jump back into the main road and we start our journey into the main road to the divinity. That means a lot of frictions, a lot of fractions happening within us. If the physical body is given, a fantastic physical body is given, fantastic mental strength is given. If we utilize in a proper way, definitely attaining the divinity is very much possible. Uh, to do that, the past, present, and the futuristic thoughts need to be adjusted very well. At the moment, if we take an individual, in an average individual, as per scientific theories, around 65% of the people normally they are in the past. They dream about the past, and with a lot of worries and sorrows and sufferings happens to them. And another 35%, like 32%, what they do is they are always thinking about the future. We think in the social side, materially they are all very successful people, around 35% of the people. In that 35%, around not 35%, 32%. Out of that, maybe around 7 or 8% are in the creamy layer, rest all in the average layer. Only few percent of the people are thinking in the present state of mind. They can only think in present, and they achieve their goals very simply. That because of the, I'm sorry, I got a line. Okay, that is because of the spiritual process. So whenever we take a good decision, that means if we go back and think, I have taken that decision, it went very successful. If we just go and take accounts of our success, we can see that we were in joyful moment. Only at that moment only we just get the best decisions comes out of our mind and make our life very positive and easy. At present days, the mind is very wavering. It is not sticking to one point because load of information is being stuffed inside without getting to the deep of that logics, whatever is given to us. We just take the top of the grass, how the cow takes the top of the grass all the time, not into the deep. Similarly, we just go and grab the information which is top. We know everything, but we don't know anything. That is what the situation is happening around. When we dump this the shallow informations into the mind, not in the depth of the mind, just shallow, we just throw into that. Then when we look for a solution, we just go and chase within this the garbage which we just thrown, unfinished logics, what we thrown in the mind. We just go and scan and try to take an answer out of it. Unfortunately, we get all the negativity one day. Very compulsive state of mind always brings the bad decision, because of the physical compulsiveness, or the family compulsiveness, the society compulsiveness. Normally it ends up with the bad decisions. The wavering mind, in the wavering mind, we just end up, it is like we walk on the infinity eight, walk on the number eight. You don't reach the goal where it is. We don't know where the goal is. We just keep on go round and round and round in our whole life. We may not reach the goal. This negativity, negative thoughts, that means the past or the futuristic thought process always is a big torture to the human mankind. Most of the time, we spend our time on this two thought process. That is the biggest negativity in an average. If we say around 60-70% of the people, why we are not successful, and whatever we try to reach some sort of goals. But unfortunately, we cannot come out of this two thought process, past and future. That's the reason, we just stand still, or the growth is not happening. The worry happens, physically, mentally, the disturbance happens. To move forward from that, we have to increase the habit of be in the present. What is the possible solution for this is, we can say, the meditation or the spiritual path. So what we do normally is, okay, tomorrow morning I'll get up at 4:30 and do my spiritual sadhanas. We plan everything, keep the alarm, go to sleep. When morning 4:30 the alarm rings, normally we just bang the clock and go to sleep. The sleep is very important for us, because it is not the thought process is not went up to the depth of the mind. It is just a shallow thought process. That's the reason it's just, we knocked it off with the physical comfort. Our priorities always keep changing. That is another thing for our the present thought process goes away, because we get up in the morning, we have one thought process, one priority is there. Within half an hour we have another process happens in the mind, the priority changes. Until evening we come out with so many priorities comes in between, and it changes our thought process. And ultimately, end of the day or the next day morning, we abandon the process. Safety and security is the highest goal for the mankind at the moment. We are all 100% insured for the unknown disease which is going to happen in the future. A hell of money we are paying for it and waiting for the disease to happen. A lot of money is being spent on the insurance, money insurance for the future life. When the present life, when we are not enjoying and saving this money for the future, at the age of 60, 70, 80, when the physical body is not cooperating, how we are going to enjoy it? It is impossible. So the thought process is not the fullest. That is the problem we are facing now. Materialistic, physical, and the mental well-being needs to be taken care very well by planning and arranging our thought process in a proper way. It is Dalia. Life is not like going to a picnic. Picnic means you can just take it very everything easy, easy. Just go if you want, do it. Otherwise, you can just leave it as simple as it is, and just go with your day-to-day lifestyle. But when we take the life as a picnic, then we end up with big drama and failures, and our success rates are dropping down into a minimum level. So how to attain this present mindset? It is all based on our mind only. Is your mind is your friend or your enemy? That is what we have to see first. If our mind is a friend of us, then it does everything good for us. If mind acts negative, instead of I say negative, I say enemy. So if it works negatively all the time, it is like our enemy. Then automatically all our thought processes are just going away from our hands. In the process of spiritual path, normally the spiritual path leaders, normally they normally don't blame others for all the actions whatever happens around them. They just be responsible for whatever happens around them. They just take the responsibility of that. There is no blame game in our life. From the childhood, from the schooling itself, we are just the learning is happening in the way of like how to beat others, how to blame others, how you can only succeed in the life, how you can just go away from this society, and you just take your part, the best out of it, you take it and leave others on the street. Kind of teaching is happening at the moment. The people who go in the path of the spiritual, normally they don't do this. They take responsibility for the every happening around them. They try to correct for themselves, for others, for the whole human mankind. We have to take, when we are in the process of Vedatriyan, we should definitely take a note of this particular point, and we have to put our mind into this and elevate our the spiritual process very well to attain the best mind quality. So the friendly mind allows you to get into the spiritual path. So unconditionally, it accepts whatever happens around them. The bad, like the enemy kind of mindset, normally what happens is for every happening, normally it reacts very fast. Immediately, it reacts. We can understand, like ourselves, if we are reacting for every happening around us, that means our mind is working against us. When the mind works against us, what happens is it creates lots of enzymes, like the liver produces a lot of chemicals into the body, and every cell in the body get affected, and the polarization of the every cell get deviated, and it also works in a different polarization, and gives a lot of difficulties to the body. The same happens to the mental. If the physical body is not good, if a man is very badly ill, means his mind works in a very minimum level. It cannot work to the fullest. So we have to take care of our. The mind is the one which can cure any kind of element in the physical structure. Always the reactions, like if it is a friendly mind, normally what it does is it reacts, not it responds. Actually, it responds to every action. So like everything happens around them, normally it goes and responds. Responding means normally it takes and it analyzes the happening around us, and it gives the best solution out of it to succeed that in the life. But normally when reacts, normally our mind is not in our the best possible state. It goes around and it start banging, it start blaming others. Always, it takes the others into the custody, and it try to win from that. So all in this kind, the present thought process, how we can achieve this present thought process, that is another thing. We know the negativity of the or the negative side of the present state of mind. So can we increase this the present state of mind, the percentage, the day living, in a day, one like in a day we can just introspect and see ourselves in a day how many hours I was so happy and blissful. Blissful is the highest standard of words, but a blissful state, if we can attain that is a greater thing. Or I'm in a happy mood in a day, how many hours, and how many hours I was thinking in the negative side, like and positive side. We can just think, we can analyze. So every day before we go to bed, if we can take a stock of it, and we just do a little process, like how many hours happened, like we can take an average. If we start to increase the amount of time which we can give it for the present state of mind, we can just see the success rate. Really, it is going up and up, and it will be a it will reach us into a greater heights. At the end of the year, if we audit it, yeah, accounts we can see every day, but at the end of the year, if we take an audit, normally what happens with the achievement of our mind for us within the self and the physical, mental, as well as the surroundings. Yeah, whenever we do the meditation, normally the peace within us first, then around us, and the whole world we talk about it. A similar way, if the mind works functions in a proper way, automatically the peace within us happens very well, around us happens fantastically, and throughout the world fabulously it works. So we have to take concentrate effort to get into that kind of mental state. How this is possible? Vedatrium has the result for that. For example, if we are doing 2 hours nowadays, online classes are happening very well. Really, I appreciated the effort by the the coordinators of this. Um, Morning 3 hours approximately it goes on, and the evening 3 hours it goes on. A lot of professors, senior professors, are giving the excellent speeches all around the world. Really, it's admirable. Um, we have enough time at home, but some of the people have very limited time to spend on this because they are 20 hours in front of the screen working online for the company. I cannot tell them to come and participate in this. Whoever get the possibilities, they can get into it. From the basic of the kaya kalpa, surya namaskaram, and exercise, meditation, and food for thought, everything happens. Maharishi says one thing is that uh, you have keep your mind in the present. Even when we are swinging our hand in the rotational move, he says keep your mind on your shoulder. Normally, when mind goes there, the energy passes there, and all the troubles in that shoulder is you get away with that. You can get away with that. Similarly, the meditation, uh, the very beautiful thing. Don't forget about yourself and don't think about anything. That is what the meditation, Maharishi's teachings are. Similarly, we have to take care of the biomagnetism. That is the important thing. If the sick people cannot think very well, that's what we discussed in the little earlier. Similarly, biomagnetism, increasing the magnetism in the body is very important. For that, Vedatrium has two practices: lamp gazing and mirror gazing. What happens? We just increase the biomagnetism in the body. That means at the present pandemic, the wordings are like increase your immune system. When you increase the biomagnetism, your immune system automatically increases to the top of the level, which gives the better performance for the body. So increasing the biomagnetism keeps our mind very healthy conditions. The negative thoughts are worrying about the past and worrying about the future. Normally, it reduces. The body is fit. That means we have the courage to just move forward to face any kind of actions in front of us, and we can succeed our life in that. Another thing is the food. Of course, for a better physical body, we need the better food. What the Maharishi recommends is in the spiritual process, normally the recommendations are food which has the life. You take it, that gives you a lot of life. That means the food is which is natural. Every race and religion has its own priority for the food. Yeah, they have the culturally they are attached to some sort of an food culture, which we don't want to deny in that. But if you are in a spiritual path, whatever path you believe in, the natural from the natural what we are taking it, and the toxins which build up over the period of our life, whatever it is the age, the toxins always build up because of the fertilizers, and the modern agriculture process normally brings in a lot of toxins into the body. That toxins normally works against our mental and spiritual process basically. Whenever we do any even at kitchen, whenever we do our cooking, normally we go and clean the kitchen very well and we start the process. Similarly, when we do the spiritual process, normally the body should be clean and it should be ready to accept the goodness of the spiritual process. If we are keeping the body, not only taking the shower will the external cleanliness will do everything fantastic. The internal cleanliness means the toxin removals and the proper food and the mental state. The food and the toxin removals are directly connected to our the mental state also. If the mind state is in a beautiful state, then automatically the benefits out of the spiritual process will be fantastic. Moreover, the childrens we have to involve more into this spiritual process, especially in Vedatriya. I find myself when we start our career in the sky around 40, 45, we are already habituated with a lot of bad thoughts and bad processes, bad habits, bad cultural effects all going to affect us. And we are all always shallow swimmers. We cannot get into it because of our late joining. By the time we join, our biomagnetism, at the level, it is not maintaining at the level, since we are with the families, and it is not possible to maintain also. So the success rate is minimized to very minimum. Instead, our children and the neighbors or whoever we see, the young chaps, young children, we can guide them into this process so that we can see the better world around us in the future. You know, that is the greatest thing. And meditation, again, as Maharishi said, Sanjita Karma, the load of information, so which is we got it as a gift from our ancestors. We have to knock it off initially. How we can do that, like we some meditation process are like you take a clay and you just make a the divine statue. That is what says it says. That means you are externally taking the material and you try to make a statue. But instead, the Maharishi says, as Maharishi says, take a rock. The sculpture, what he does is he just take the rocks and he just removes the unwanted thing, and he gets the beautiful the divine statue out of it. That is what the meditation has to do it. By doing the meditation, normally we just six temperamental moods: I, myself, I, mine, and uh, all this bad imprints, which came along with us, and whatever we learn from the society, all these years needs to be knocked off. So towards that, we have to work. Otherwise, in the spiritual path, we can spend a lot of hours and uh, days and months behind that, but the achievement is going to be very less. Dive deep to achieve the divinity. That is what the thought process should be. To dive deep, we have to be in a present mode of mindset. The past mode and the futuristic mode is going to normally kill all our ambition of attain the goal of divinity. That is what I can feel it myself. The mind has greater power, which I can just tell you a small little my experience personally. On the physically, I had some problem to conclude this thought process. I can just tell you that I have some nerve problem in my legs. Normally, what happens is when I'm doing my work very well, not a problem. Monthly, 1 or 2 times, I get this pain actually. When I think why my second finger in the leg is not paining now, I think it is getting healing. When I think before I finish the thought process, normally I get a flash of 220 volts electric shock. Really, really, many nights I didn't sleep because of this thought process. It's a very negative thought process. I understand this. Uh, the pain of 220 volts gradually, after doing the meditations and practicing the complete sky yoga practices, slowly it started diminishing. 220 volts become 110 volts. Since I'm in the electrical side, I can just tell you that. Sorry for others. Slowly, it started reducing. The pain started reducing. Nowadays, of course, the mind is still not up to that level. I didn't dive deep still, yet to dive deep. So I'm reaching up to certain level where I'm getting like a 50 volt, 60 volt shocks now. It is tremendously, it is reduced after practicing this meditation thought process. Change of thought process and little bit lifestyle change really made my life easier at the moment. So mind has enough amount of power. This power we can utilize it if we consciously keep our mind conscious, means be present. That is what the importance. If we can take 50%, not 50%, I'm too generous about it. If we can take 30% for the present state of mind, and the past and futures, we can divide whatever way we want. And if we can give some sort of an importance to that positive frame of present thinking process, that will lead us to a greater heights. By saying this, I conclude this discussion. Hope you all enjoyed it. If we have any doubts or clarifications, whatever I know, I can explain it. But we have our meditation and the food for thought in Tamil is going to come up. If anyone needs any information, we can just think about this in future the programs. Thank you very much. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine. Be blessed by the divine.